I don't know how you have that high self-esteem. You just go out there and get it. Because I was taught that nobody could take away my self-esteem. Yeah. Nobody can take away being you, because it's you. You are already accounted for. You see what I'm saying? Absolutely. And in the integrity part, like, what are you willing to stand on? What are you willing to have people say when you're not in the room? That's huge to me, because in this game, I literally, media, that's what I mean in this game, or this thing called life, is I think about when I'm not in the room, what are people saying? It's so imperative. Before a lot of people meet me for the first time, if they don't see me in my yellow immediately, they've already had a conversation with this person, this person, this person, this person. So they've formed some kind of an opinion.
What's up? How you doing today? Well, anyway, I stopped you because I see that you went to the original people in the Eve jean, and I like that dress, man. I was wondering if you would like to be a model. You know, I like how you standing still. You want a model for us? Hello? Anyway, man, that same stone face, no talking pose, I need you to keep that same energy. Check out my card, man, and I would love to have you on the team. Woo. Oh, what's up? I see you took the offer. Come in. And by the way, what's your name? You know what? It's all cool. Let's go shoot these photos.
Peace, family. Welcome to another edition of the Lead Your Lineage podcast. We are the number one podcast for individuals seeking to end generational dysfunction. What's good?
Man, you already know, cuz you already know how I'm feeling, especially right now.
Absolutely.
Epic moment, man. I'm going to have to break it down, y'all, because if you from anywhere, matter of fact, if you know anything about this lady right here, you know that she a superstar. She really don't need no introduction, especially if you're from that.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
And this is serious. If you're from the 317 area code or whatever, the whole Indiana, you know who this is.
Absolutely.
You know.
And if you don't, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah, and if you don't, you should be ashamed of yourself. Y'all know her as the polished lady. I know her as Kelah. You know, if you don't
that's
know me,
fine. That's fine.
I met her as Kelah too.
So
me too.
We got roots. We hit it. Yeah, we got roots together.
I be hesitant to call you.
But when you do that out in the public, people be like, "Who?"
Yeah.
I got that whole Hannah Montana vibe going on. Miley Cyrus.
So what we got here right here is the Polished Lady. If y'all don't know who she is, y'all better know, because in Indianapolis, she everywhere. She done hosted all type of events. From I can't even think. I remember you was on Butter, right?
I did. I did some coverage for Butter.
She was just in Atlanta. You know what I mean? She just interviewed T Grizzly,
Joey Badass, Carly Red.
Anybody important in Indianapolis knows her. I mean, from everybody, from Antonio. You know, you did
Maxie, definitely.
Yeah, he got. You know, he's on the memorial. Everybody on the memorial, you know.
I got to co-host one time with Vivica A. Fox, so that was cool.
My point. I'm telling y'all, if you from the 317 area or you have done anything in the 317 area that's important, I know who she is. We don't need no introduction, man. But I'm going to give her to her for the people who slow, who might just woke up yesterday. It's the Polished Lady, aka
people that slow and the people that need to know.
Please
take it away. Introduce yourself.
Yes.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna grab the legendary mic. Hey, what's going on? Lead Your Lineage podcast. I am glad to be here. I'm your girl, the Polished Lady. Yes, thank you so much for that introduction. Yes. Let me just tell you, I'm a media specialist, a host. I am a influencer, mom to the Polished Prince. Come on now. Just trying to empower my community by spreading love and light on African Americans making a positive impact in our culture. Period. Point blank.
I love it.
I'm gonna put that down.
I love it. And I love it.
I like how she laid it.
It ain't a mic drop. It's a subtle set down. Subtle set down. You know what I'm saying? So let's get right into it, man. So who? Let me ask this question first, right? For people that may be slow and people that may not know.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna say it like that, real smooth. So, what is the origin of the Polished Lady? How did this begin?
Okay, so you started with me on my journey, actually.
I did.
So when I was at Indiana State University, I had an organization called Polished Bricks, and that was basically you could call it, the best way I could compare it is like a LinkedIn, but for African Americans who wanted to do like community service and just show that they were making a positive impact by the things they did day to day. When I was going around Indiana State's campus, I had that form. I was like, fill out this form. Absolutely. And tell me about like why you're positive. And people were just looking at me like I was crazy, like I cussed them out or something. And it took it took me a whole month to get 50 signups. I thought it was gonna just like take off and grow automatically, but from that point, I was doing so much work in service in the community that others were asking me to come speak at panels. I spoke in front of the Department of Education, in front of their board, to talk about like why African American retention is low, especially like if a student gets off of the scholarship track. So I had cool speaking opportunities. And so the word polished itself means establish. Trying to establish the brands and the businesses that I'm working with. And I'm the first lady of my business. So the Polished Lady is how that all came about.
I love it. Ooh, that's fire. That's fire. Yeah, we were in I think we were in Burford Hall. Yeah, we were in Burford on the first floor in that little lobby area. I think I was doing something in the summer or one of the programs in the summer.
Lead.
And you
was it for Lead? I was
that year. It wasn't. No.
Okay.
I think we were like, because they were doing construction on one of the residence halls.
Right.
So we had to.
Oh, it was upgraded. Oh, yeah. Where the common section, whatever that's called. Yes.
Yeah. So we had to stay in there instead of where we usually stay at. And I was in the lobby after getting done working that day. He just came and was like, "Hey, are you someone that's positive?" I'm like, "Yeah, I am." And we talked for like 5 minutes, and I signed up, and like I was just like, "Yo, you are really, really dope." And I was just admiring how you were just shooting your shot, and I saw her in action too, cause I saw her in action just going around asking people the same thing she just told y'all. She was going around asking people that same questions, and she was just on the move. And I was like, "Yo, this is really, really dope." So I gave her flowers that day, and I've been following her ever since, man. So shout out to you, Kelah.
Shout out to y'all.
The Polished Lady.
This is a full circle moment, y'all.
Let me tell my story.
Tell your story.
Polished Lady, aka Kelah. Okay, well, I actually knew her in science class. This is back in high school. This is when I went to North Central. I think this is 09, 2000. It's either 09 or 2010. Either one.
2010. Come on, I agree.
It's either one of them. 09 or 10. It was
10.
one of them.
Yeah.
All right. So we was in science class and she was quiet. She wasn't as this loud and outgoing person as she is now. She was quiet.
I'm so glad you said that, because people don't believe me when I tell them that I was quiet.
I spoke to her, but if she ain't know you, she wasn't speaking too much to you. And that's
the facts.
The truth. And that's just the truth. I had to come up there and talk to her every time. And then I saw her in around like 2001, because I started up the original people in 2020. And I want to try to get some exposure. Mm-hmm. And y'all know me. This Lead Your Lineage, man. So I always pick the right platforms of people who I choose. I always pick people who I have to have some type of connection with. I have to have some type of divine spirit ancestors telling me, yeah, this is the person. So when I saw you doing that and I saw the transition, most people probably didn't. I saw your transition. I'm like, she made it from right here to here. Wait into another here to here moment from here. And when I mean here to here, I mean those are years. But wait from this from 5 years from now. Look, for 5 years from here, she became this big polished lady. Wait from 5 years later. you know. And I told her, I said, man, you gotta interview me. I gotta get on your YouTube channel. I gotta be on your whole platform. I'm like, cause you bring the right people, you got the right crowd. She was doing something positive, and when she was doing something positive, it was like she was doing it out of heart. It wasn't just to be on, TV. It wasn't just because I'm just this person who wants to be seen. It was like, hey, I'm giving this real polished energy out here, and I want everybody to get on their positive energy. And I was like, man, let me get on there. So I got on there, and it was an epic moment, man. It was just dope. That was my first interview ever.
I did it.
Yes,
I did it.
That was my first interview ever, and I chose the right person. You know what I mean? One thing I did do wrong was, I ain't gonna lie, I paid a late payment on accident. I didn't know.
Listen, I wasn't gonna say nothing. You just exposing yourself.
No. Oh, here we keep it 100. Okay, man. We keep it 100. I tell the truth.
But you also have to think about, you've also blessed me to use my influencer platform with your brand, The Original People, and you pulled up on me during the Polished Lady tour as well. So I am appreciative.
Appreciate it. It ain't nothing but love from me, the kids, and the wife. Because we all appreciate you. And I always be watching your podcast, believe it or not. I just don't tag you when I share them, but I be sharing it. I be like, okay, I like this one. Let me do this. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
I love what you got going on.
Thank you so much. Y'all, I'm excited.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here.
What inspires you to go positive? Like, to be honest, most people I know who are on this very positive energy like you, something happened. You know what I mean? Where you had to find positivity to get you going. If you don't,
I can share. No, I can share. Yeah, I'm very open.
This is a very open podcast.
Absolutely. Most definitely. So, going back to my college days, especially my freshman year, I had a severe, the most severe. I done been bullied before, y'all. Yeah. When I was growing up, I've been bullied, but this was my roommate. She keyed my microwave, threatened to kill me because she had gotten written up because my APA and I were friends. And I was returning home from getting off the bus from a Greyhound. I always, every weekend at Indiana State, I would catch the Greyhound bus to come work at the Walmart that was in Indianapolis, Indiana, because they wouldn't transfer me in Terre Haute. Oh, yeah. So every weekend I was going back home on the bus. But I was going in, the fire alarm was down, my APA wrote her up. I was like, listen, I got a ticket. So she felt like I set her up. Yeah. It was that type of situation. So from that point on, they rushed me into emergency housing. So they separated me. It was certain times I could even go to the food area. We had 2 classes together, me and this roommate, and I wouldn't even go to classes. At that point, I totally isolated myself from anyone else. I was just if I did leave out the room, I would run to the professor's office hours, things of that nature. And it really took one professor to talk to me. It was Dr. Jefferson. She said to me, because I was minoring in African American studies, because I love my people. So I was clearly trying to implement my life. I had to have the education to back what it is I'm trying to do now. You see what I'm saying? But Dr. Jefferson said, why are you going to let her dim your light? And when she said that to me, I was like, you are absolutely right. This is the first time that I have had a high honor roll GPA. My mom, at the time, she never went to college. So all she knew was get a job after high school, go to work. Yeah. And it's me in college. Nobody at home could help me with the bullying situation because they were like, I don't know what to do in this particular instance. I had to meet with a therapist. It was a lot of stuff, but those moments I think prepared me to have tough skin right now, because in my role of media, everybody is trying to be entertained, not educated or empowered. So my job is our job is a little bit tougher because what's not trendy is still needed. Yeah. So I also was a comm major, public relations, and we had to watch the news every day. And this just set it off like over the top for me to be like, okay, I gotta use my voice and advocate for people that look like me. I'll never forget it. CNN covered the story about President Barack Obama getting on Air Force One, and he was had a teacup in his hand, but he was waving at the American people, and they were talking about how disrespectful he was as a president because he had the teacup and waving at them while he's getting on the plane. I thought about the billions of people that are watching this news platform to be informed, right? But if we let them lead the knowledge and the news that's being spread out here, we wouldn't get far. We wouldn't get far because the news tells us that African Americans are always shooting or going through some troublesome situation. What about the positive? It's only been like since like all the deaths, unfortunately, it's only been here recently where being a Black entrepreneur is trendy. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I've been heart to heart about doing what I wanted to do for the community. So that's really what got me started was the bullying situation and just seeing how national news platforms utilize their influence. And now I wanted to make my own impact.
That's powerful. Thank you for sharing that too. And I want to say this as well, like just that story that you shared on the origin and what you just shared about the why behind the Polished Lady. I want to give you your flowers on camera about your consistency.
Thank you.
That's one of the things I value in terms of my morals, values, and principles is consistency. And you have been an exciting and exhilarating example of consistency.
Thank you.
So I want to let you know that while we were here recording this podcast. So shout out to you.
Shout out to you. Thank y'all. I really appreciate it. I'm proud of both of y'all. Yeah. First off, because I know that you just released a book. You got your clothing line. You homeschooling.
Yeah. He is.
What? I have one child, and no. Thank you, public school system.
I got two. I got three. I got one do any day. Mm-hmm. And I gotta do that. Homeschooling is
not for punks.
Yeah, and I be sleeping on myself. My wife was like, "Man, you be sleeping." I'm like, "You're right," because when I homeschool, it's like, because right now we're switching roles, and I get into that, but it's homeschooling is really difficult to really make a child understand something that they have no clue to understand.
They have not seen it before, but they're just now grasping the concept.
You gotta remember that. You're trying to teach them that, and you got nerves, and all day long you've been doing this, and all day long you've been taking care of this and taking care of that. You still gotta teach this child, and the child sometimes get whiny and fussy. Woo!
It's the time.
Woo. My God, man.
That's why I'm saying hats off to y'all.
Yeah, I appreciate that. But everybody want to know this. We know you now, but can you tell us something? Before you Polished Lady. Like, how was your childhood growing up?
Okay, so my mother is actually deaf. She had to have like surgery to get a metal plate put in her head. My grandmother put into her that I was going to be her miracle baby. Yeah. So I had a lot of weighed on me. Yeah. Because basically my parents are older. Yeah. My dad is 76 this year. And I'm 28, y'all. I ain't scared to tell y'all my age. And so I was in a household. I was learning tonk, how to garden, plant flowers. I really didn't have we grew up in a old neighborhood. There was elders all around. So if you did something, they gonna call or they gonna be on your porch tomorrow talking about you did X, Y, and Z. So it wasn't a lot of kids in the neighborhood. I spent a lot of time with myself or playing in the house, but I was learning. I would say I was learning life skills while other people had the free time. Yeah, because I wouldn't call it free time because I've always looked at life so seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said, so are you only child?
Well, I'm my dad's only daughter, but my mother's second daughter. And me and my sister are 17 years apart. And
wow.
she
same predicament.
Are we?
Yeah,
low key.
I always joke on him because his parents is older. And I always be like, boy, because his mama is my grandpa's little sister. So I always be joking on him like that, you know what I mean? Just be joking on him because he got older parents, you know.
It's not no joke, especially right now, like in the space that I'm in. I take care of a lot of the responsibilities when it comes to my dad and what he got going on. My sister kind of like does the most for my mom, but as it pertains to my dad and all his financials, I pay the bills, like organize anything he needs. I do the runs, and that if you take care of people, if you're a home care provider, baby, woo. To you, yeah.
Absolutely.
Because it's not a joke.
Yeah, my brother and I, we're 16 and a half years apart. My mother, she is 66 years young. And my father is...
I like how you add that young,
Yeah, so he would have turned 70 this year and like on Earth. But he's still with me eternally though. He would have been 70 this year. My mother, she turned 67 in November.
Okay.
Yeah,
November
so
what?
November 20th.
Okay, my dad's birthday November 6th. I was about to say.
Okay, yeah, they both Scorpios. Yeah.
Period. Absolutely.
So yeah, I resonate with that, with part of your story about having those older parents and then having that sibling. Because I kind of grew up as an only child.
I'm an only child. That's why I always hesitate. Like, are you an only child? I'm like, yeah, I am. I was in the house. I was the only one there. Right. She was off to college at that point and starting to live her life.
Mm-hmm. So you start having that only child syndrome?
What does that mean?
You know,
yeah, explain that. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
What does that mean?
Like for real, like do you have to work on like sharing things? Because I've seen people who are the only child work on even with cousins.
Are you reading me?
I definitely did.
People, I'm a person of tendencies. I'm not a person who
I don't like to share my food. I don't care who you are. I don't know if that's an only child thing, but if
it's like that, we have to learn how to share.
And then, I'm the type of person like, yo, I just get you your own. Like more than me not like sharing. I was like,
like I will lead you to it. Like I'm gonna lead you to the resource instead of like just give you like mine. Like
See, I came up with all my brothers, man. So we always be sharing shit. It don't be nothing to share.
Yeah. No.
So I see you growing as family. What is here on Lead Your Lineage? You know, our main focus is on family and family with morals and values and principles, our MVPs. You know, that being said, what is some morals and values principles that the Polished Ladies lives up to and that she teaches her family?
Definitely. So, it's me and my son, the Polished Prince, y'all. He's 5. The joy of my life, for real. The morals.
Yeah. Values and the principles.
Integrity is huge. Integrity, accountability, and authenticity. Like I was taught very young to have like high self-esteem, and like I would go to CLD, Delta Gyms. I was a part of Harvest Girls International. So many groups that like pushed us and egged us to like speak up for yourself, advocate. If you see something wrong, like you can go utilize this resource. So I was around all of these organizations and people that were trying to personally develop us, right? Yeah. I didn't see it then. I'm just like, my mom was just trying to keep me busy and get me out of the house. She just want me to do something. She always got me in something. Yeah. But now when I think about it, like those founding principles, like set the tone for me because I'm 28 and a lot of people, some older, some younger, come to me and say, I don't know how you have that high self-esteem. You just go out there and get it. Because I was taught that nobody could take away my self-esteem. Yeah. Nobody can take away being you because it's you. You are already accounted for. You see what I'm saying? Absolutely. And in the integrity part, like, what are you willing to stand on? What are you willing to have people say when you're not in the room? That's huge to me, because in this game, I literally, media, that's what I mean in this game, or this thing called life, is I think about when I'm not in the room, what are people saying? It's so imperative. Before a lot of people meet me for the first time, if they don't see me in my yellow immediately, they've already had a conversation with this person, this person, this person, this person. So they've formed some kind of an opinion. And I'm like, oh, what they say. Let me know. But I'm thankful and grateful that every time it's nothing but like, she really helped me. She really, looked out for me. Any opportunities that she saw that would elevate me too, she gave me. So I'm grateful for that. And then the accountability piece is really huge with my son, because he's a socialite. He's 5. So his teacher has already told me that he's above his benchmarks where it needs to be in school, but she knows when he's not being challenged, he likes to be social. And he's like, he'll be like, it's whatever, but his personality is huge. And I don't want that to be taken away from him, because I know how hard it is for other people, especially older. The older you get, it's harder for you to build confidence. I don't care what nobody says, because I've seen people, I'm thinking, I'm like, you are so beautiful. The most beautifulest person you think they have the lowest self-esteem, lowest self-confidence. And I'm like, but why? You got this, and I used to do you got this and you got this going on in your life, so why are you not happy? But I had to realize, like, material things are not what makes you. It's the character that you are building, the relationships that you build, and that you hone in on. You see what I'm saying? Because relationships, that's money, that's wealth. That's wealth. And eventually, for what I see for like the Polished Lady brand, is I definitely want the Polished Prince to have, his own platform where he continues to share others' light. I'm already like blessed that everybody who's been involved in his education life has told me, when Wally sees another student struggling, a classmate struggling, he's quick to help. And I'm like, okay, good. I'm instilling that into you, and so it won't go away. You're gonna be like, well, if I can't help, this is where I can help at. So those are the principles, I would say, in the morals that I focus on the most.
I love that. Yo, that's powerful.
Yeah. You know what I got from that, cuz?
Wait, talk to us. What's up?
And without you even knowing, I heard of dysfunction. We the number one podcast for people in a generation of dysfunction. I heard dysfunction. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard dysfunction of you making sure you give something. You get your same thing. Me and cuz fight poverty. You want to give your kids something, a platform, not only just some platform, somewhere he can take care of himself and he can be okay, and you know that he'll be okay. Because we know as parents we can't always be here,
right?
And
you can't be everywhere.
We can't be everywhere. So I see that what I see, you giving him this, even in poverty, so he can have something to step on, so he can have this what they call money, but really it's not money, because we all been in a situation. It's more than money. It's comfortability. It's been able to hold your confidence, because like you said, because being as an entrepreneur, you can, especially as a man, and I got 5 kids, man. Sometimes bringing this money in, especially with the original people, and I'm rebranding right now, so I'm not doing a lot of marketing. And most companies can market and rebrand. I'm not that big. I just started. I'm smart. I'm making a whole risk. Shift. You know what I mean? This is a risk. Like, I was like, okay, I see me just selling shirts all day. Forget that. I want to be a brand, so I'm about to do this. I'm taking a whole risk. So losing money can really, like you said, as you get older, make you be like, dang, I'm losing confidence. And you see yourself different in the mirror. You feel different. You hear your kids say this, and you hear your wife say this, and feel that, and you feel like you can't produce. But at the same time, you are. So like you said, giving him more confidence and showing him like, hey, it's morals and values and principles you gotta live by, and it's also this platform I'm gonna give you so you can live and be comfortable. That's what I see. That's all I want to say. I want to make sure they saw that too. You know?
I'm glad. I want to quickly touch on that. So I know you mentioned to everyone that I just went to Atlanta. Yep. Let me first say, if my character, if my integrity, and if I wasn't accountable, I wouldn't have been in Atlanta without my angel investor. She made sure that she paid for the flight. She said, do you need a hotel? Now, this is somebody, I didn't ask her. Yeah. I just posted on Facebook, I need to get to Atlanta by the 24th. Money in my account. People don't do that just because you saying what you want to do. But because I put my actions where my mouth is, and every time I step onto my platform, I'm producing, people are going to support it. And I'm also 5 months into my entrepreneur full-time journey. I didn't plan for it. There wasn't no emergency fund. I just really had to jump out and be like, I know that I have a brand. I've been working at this for 5 years. A lot of people don't.
Yeah.
They
don't know. My next question was, because I know this, what was your first? Let them know your first video you actually posted. Because like, what year was that?
That was 2015.
14. I think
14.
Yep.
It was Expo. You right.
My fault, man, because I do my
let her tell her story.
No, say I want to hear it.
No. I don't know. Was it play? That's how I remember. That's how I knew exactly what you saw him. I don't know. Was it? Dang, it might have been one of him. I saw it. It was 2014. Pluto.
Yeah, that's my brother. Yeah. That's my brother. He incredible engineer, producer. But yeah, you right. I think that was 2015.
Okay.
But you might, we're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to do my homework.
Check the tape
because it's been a long time. I gotta roll it back.
So how long you been doing this?
Well, if you go from that date, I would consider myself an official business owner. 2018, like that's when I signed the state papers and all that stuff to make me legit. Yeah. And I was just like, I just kept saying to myself, I have to have my platform because nobody's speaking up about the positives. The positives, it don't hit somebody who's into entertainment as quickly as it does. It's not a viral moment. Like, I'll give you a couple examples. Auntie Tab, like before she did her TTL sandwich for Whole Food, she was already acting. She been doing that. She was Uber driving, but why we just now like, oh, she's positive, but she been doing it. So it was building up that support. Like, it's so many stories that I know of. I just met a Black computer scientist who built a coding robot for 3-year-olds to learn how to code with a mat, and it has a puzzle piece. And if you get on her TikTok, you can get like 20% off. I'm sorry. I was amazed. And her coding robot is only like $74.99. And I was like, what? It's going to teach my baby how to code?
What?
That's dope.
Black woman. Do you hear what I said? It's just so many amazing stories to be told. And again, you look at Hidden Figures. A lot of people don't get their stories told. I wanted to provide a platform that does that. I also worked for Radio 1. I was in the promotions department. So that's the lowest. Literally, that's the lowest of the low when you in the radio. Because what you do is go to events, set up, and play the speaker. We got like a mute. If we don't have a DJ, it just depends on the setup. And you take pictures. Take pictures of everybody interacting with the personality. And I remember telling our general manager that I wanted to moderate a conversation for the 50th anniversary of WTLC. And he said, why would we pick you over our national international recording artist. This was when Moni Love was on the radio, and she was in our market. And he said, I need you to answer 2 questions. Who follows you and who will show up for you? Those 2 questions right there, that didn't deteriorate me and make me feel like, oh, well, I don't have that following that I need. That was fuel. That was everything I needed for me to be like, you know what? I'm going to show you who's going to follow me. I'm going to show you who will show up for me. And it's been time and time again that, like, the Polished People Tribe, I keep saying this because I mean it from the bottom of my heart. There would be no Polished Lady if not for the polished people. Yeah, the belief and the support in my vision is what keeps it alive and thriving. And it allows me to keep going and doing what it is that I believe I was called to do, you know?
I love that. That's dope. You are a dope individual. You are a phenomenal goddess. I'll take the word around my mouth. You're a phenomenal goddess. You know what I mean?
I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, we appreciate you. So I want to ask you this question specifically. What is your family's most common generational dysfunction?
Our most common. Like I'm our mindset towards money. And because I'm gonna elaborate. So my dad, he grew up on a tobacco farm. So he's been smoking cigarettes since he was a little boy because he grew it. You know, cigarettes and beer. And as for my mom, she definitely always kept a job, but will always say out her mouth, words are powerful, y'all. Remember this. Yep. That's not just some cute little saying that's quick. My mom will always say, I'm broke. But she always had a job. So I never understood, like, how do you have a paycheck but are always broke? And when I look at the rest of my family, we didn't have money conversations. Everybody's like, I'm broke, I ain't got it. Nobody taught me how to invest into a savings account. When I first found out that I was pregnant, I started a college 529 plan for him because I was like, he won't go through the same generational curse that I know, because everybody's scared. Like, if he goes to college, he's gonna be in debt. No, he's not. Mama's gonna set you up right. Also, anybody who be seeing the Polished Prince out, they give him money. I don't let him spend that money. He knows to take it home and put it in the piggy bank. He enjoys it. He thinks it's a game. He been stocking money since he's 5. So just imagine, he been stocking money since a little. Okay? But I say all this to say, like, my mom says she broke. My dad, the cigarettes right now is like $9 a pack. Man, and I think I buy my dad probably like 3 packs of cigarettes in a week. And then he always complains like, so I don't have enough money. But when I do the math and add it up, I'm like, this is why. Nobody taught us how to budget. There's no budgeting. We don't have no family reunions and be like, hey, y'all, let's learn how to budget. Let's write down what we gonna save. The only time African-American families come together to talk about saving money is when...
So yeah, this is my book. It's out. I had my book launch. It was super beautiful, successful. The energy was super dope. Me coming from a space of being emotionally numb, emotionally unavailable. Yeah. And now exploring what this energy, emotion is and where these things come from. Like I said in my book release, where does the anger come from? Where does it stem from? Yeah. What's the root of it, you know?
Going on their next family trip. I have a problem with that. I actually was scared to travel because I was like, ooh, $600, $500 to go on a flight. But I had to learn, just like everybody else, like if you book ahead in advance, it's like $100, $200 for a round trip. You just have to be smart with your money. So I would say that would be the biggest thing, because not knowing how to manage money, definitely. When I started my business, I told somebody who was in real estate. He asked me how much money do you make a year, and at that time, he was like, how much money do you want to make at the end of the year? And I told him $1,000. He laughed in my face, and he showed me like one of his cashier checks of he had like 6,000 off of one transaction because somebody was signing a home or whatever the case may be. And like, he really made me feel bad for having this goal. But now I can say, like, I've surpassed that goal and have grown, because it was certain points when I was offering interviews for $35, people were looking at me like, why would I pay you to get on YouTube when it's free? Well, you're paying not only for the editing portion of me, you're paying for the connections, things that I'm connected to. And then when people ask me for a reference to this, and that, then I will serve as that liaison for you. But I'm only doing it, like, you have to see your worth. Nobody in my family were talking about that. Nobody was talking about that. I really feel like I'm just being introduced to money conversations. Yeah. For real. And also, the tax check don't make you rich. Y'all gonna be mad at me for that.
They don't.
That'd be gone quick. Yeah, so I would say definitely poor money management skills, the way that you start talking about money. That was like the biggest, like, ugh. I wish they told me earlier, like, all the money that I had. People would give me like hundreds of, like, I used to get one of my dad's friends, he used to pay me like $25 for every A I had on my report card. And like,
I wish I had that growing up.
Yeah, like, it was a lot of people like finding. I used to rake leaves. I'm a hustler, okay. I'm gonna figure out. I used to do junking with my dad. I love going to the junkyard. Like, ooh, how much money we gonna make this time? You know, that's where that consistency, that grind in me comes from. Really, where it stems from, because my daddy taught me how to junk. I know how to garden. I really could grow my own food if I want to. And then, like, just a lot of life skills. You know what I'm saying? I know how to make a quick dollar. I remember, this is totally random, but I remember going to a family reunion. My dad's family is from Hopkinsville, Kentucky, and I don't know. Me and my cousin, we were just going around our grandma's house. I put some carpet cleaner in a bag, and then I mixed it with, I don't know, we was mixing it with something, and we were going around and telling them, it smells good. It's gonna make your house. It's gonna make your house smell good. Yeah. So it's like $3. Uncle George went for it. Uncle Tiny went for it. So we took a product already assembled, added a little bit of water, and was selling it.
I love it. I love it.
That's crazy. Now that I sit here and think, I'm like, oh yeah, I've been like,
that's funny.
Yeah,
that's funny.
And I think that's the only key difference is I've seen it. Like, we have family businesses, they just aren't run properly. You know what I'm saying? They don't stay in business too long. Yeah. They don't have systems that allow us to stay in business long or build legacy.
And I'm glad you said that. That's something that I've been spending a lot of mental energy on, figuring out that I think only like 3% of family businesses worldwide are sustainable. Mm-hmm. And then when we talk about just Black entrepreneurs in general, melanated African American entrepreneurs, however y'all want to slice it, it's like 0.00001% of Black entrepreneurs make $1 million annually. So it's like we don't, like you said, systems, and then which is like we're a first generation I say millionaires. So we go look back 100 years ago, everybody had some type of hustle going back to 1923. Everybody had to do something because we couldn't be a part of the system per se.
Right.
So everybody had their own thing. It was like we lost that in like a couple of generations. It just went out the window. But it's like it's still inside of us. We just got to tap into it, and like sharing that positivity is a way I think we can tap into it, because we can shed away that negativity. Everybody's being consumed on a consistent basis, and focus on the positive, so we can focus on what we can really, really do out here for real, for real.
And another thing I want to quickly say is a lot of times people ask me, you only focus on the positive, so you ignore the negatives. I don't ignore the negative of whatever someone's situation, whatever they've gone through. I actually ask the question that motivates them to be like, you were here, but how did you make it positive for yourself? So it makes them think, like, I'm really I'm doing some psychology. I'm not a psychologist, but I'm doing some reverse psychology when I'm like, okay, tell me about a rough patch. But in that rough patch, how did you see it through? That shifts the whole mindset right there. Once I do that, they like, you know what? I really did. Once they sit down and talk to me about it more and more, they're going to go into the next room that they were just about to enter in more like confidence, with their shoulders high, with their head high, because we are gods and goddesses. You know what I'm saying? So there's no reason for us not to portray ourselves as such, to go in every room. We have the highest spending power.
We do.
But no sustainable business is 1%. That's what you said.
Yeah. I want to touch on real quick. That's because it goes back to what you said. Not having the education of how to budget money. When you said that, I heard it many times when we've been out here doing interviews. But today it clicked with my mind because I related it to our family. That's the number reason why our family is into it right now. On our side of the family that we share is because we didn't know how to budget money and know how to spread money the equal way. So now everybody bitching and fighting over the money.
You know, just to put a umbrella term over there, estate planning, legacy planning.
So now listen, I pay for life insurance, and honey, my child's father, he was totally against it. He's like, it's just a ripoff for when you die, da 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 da. No. Beyond my earthly body going, you know what I'm saying, and the funeral costs and all that stuff, because I believe the last time I checked on Amazon, a casket was like $8,000 something just to bury my dead body. Right. So to think about that, but then also that's how other cultures, that's how they really get up if somebody passed away. Because now they're able to say, okay, I pass away, but now I'm gonna give you this amount, you do with it what you will. Sometimes with estate planning, you could put like limitations on, well, you have to read this, you have to reach this, you have to do this before. But what was her name? Was it Aretha Franklin? Did she pass away? Which one was the one who she passed away and her son was special needs, but she didn't have a will, and she had all this money, so I
don't want to limit that conversation to just her. There's a lot of people that are entertainers and athletes that don't have their affairs in order,
right?
On that aspect, but I feel you though, because that's a common thing amongst our people for sure. Like me personally, I have a will and I have a living trust. I established that. I didn't know what the hell I was doing when I started to be all the way 100.
Right.
But I got it started though. A lot of people look at me like, bro, what? Why'd you do that? Like, yo, it was something that needed to be done to do something different to end that generational dysfunction, right?
Absolutely.
So now I'm intelligent enough to like, okay, I can go into the weeds. Okay, how does this part of the trust work? How does this part of the will work? When do I need to amend this? How do I amend this? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Doing those different type of things. Like, okay, who's gonna be my beneficiary if something happens to me? Think all those conversations that we intentionally don't have. Like intentionally we intentionally don't have these conversations.
Yeah.
And it's weird and it's wild to me. You know what I mean? So I salute you for even establishing life insurance for your seed, for your legacy, for your son. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, we have to be empowered by education, and sometimes I'm gonna tell you, like when I went to North Central, I thought I was not. I was getting F's, C's, D's. That was like just high school. But the rest of I was like, wow, this is making me feel incompetent. The only class that I had an A in was speech. That was it. Speech 101. I could talk. I could talk. Thank you. And I thought I was incompetent. And then every time I got new information, it was hard for me to process because I was focused on the past and what I already knew to be exact. Mm-hmm. But as I'm older, I'm learning it's so much more easier to adapt to saying I don't know everything. Yeah. Like if you openly admit that out your mouth and say I don't know everything, you could teach me something, I could teach you something. It's an equal exchange. And then you won't be so terrified or afraid of it anymore. So yeah, life insurance was super important for, like, I hate paying it, but right now it's low. It's like $35 a month or something like that for me and my son. But we gonna be covered. Yeah, like we gonna be covered when I go.
And like you said, just imagine if we had that intentional conversation about it's only that amount per month. That's a little more than $1 per day. If you just saved $1 per day or didn't spend $1 per day. That's what Gerber say. You know what I mean? Like you have your life insurance paid for, but like as you get older, the price increases. So you starting that out in your 20s, like that's like I said, salute to you. Shout out to you.
So y'all, the message of the day: go get life insurance. Do it low. Get it low.
Get low with it. Have a conversation with your family. Yes, please. Definitely. Please. Before it's too late, because it's time. It's past due. It's past due. You got a question, cuz? Oh, I got the questions for Dave. What's up? Okay, bet. Ooh. I want to spin this one. Okay, so let me add. Yeah, let's go here. What has been your most memorable interview today?
My most memorable interview? I'm gonna have to say Bonita Mae Kennedy. She was a neighbor in my neighborhood. Grew up with her. I used to go on her porch, and she recently passed away. Probably like I don't know, probably like a year and a half ago. Like she passed away, but she was my most memorable interview because I think she was probably my third interview, and she always had this saying that she would say to me. She was like, "There's a dream with your name on it. If you believe it, you can achieve it." She would say it to me like repetition, and she just kept saying it. I was like, now either this old lady is crazy or like why she keep saying this to me every day? Yeah. It was driving me crazy. It's a dream with your name on it. If you believe it, you can achieve it. Okay, Miss Bonita. That's what I would say. Okay, Miss Bonita. And then she also talked to me about her challenges being a nurse. She was a Black nurse. She went to the she was working at what did she say? IU Health. She was working at IU Health for over 50 years. She won Who's Who in the nursing sector of whatever she was doing. And they used to call like a cab to come and get her so that she could go to work and stuff like that, because they knew that her family was struggling and stuff. She would tell me these stories, and I was just thinking, this woman is so candid with me, so pure with me about her life experiences, but yet she still finds the time to empower me to say, There's a dream with your name on it. If you believe it, you can achieve it. I think I never a lot of people think that my biggest interviews are with the celebrities. I don't know you long enough. Actually, I don't watch the Shade Room to see your mess. I don't watch the reality shows to see where you fall. I watch news, and if the news is uplifting you and you started a new foundation, I applaud you. But Miss Bon, it's people like the stories that, like Miss Bonita, who really hidden figures you wouldn't have known unless you sat on her porch and just listened to her talk. She just fluently talked, and through her life experiences, I was inspired to keep going. Of course, there's going to be difficulties. Of course, you're going to have trials and tribulations, right? But what are you going to do with those trials to make your testimony the story that you wanted? You decide the narrative of your story, but what exactly are you about to say? What do you want said about you? Don't let others who aren't you depict your story. And I would say, yeah, Miss Bonita Mae Kennedy, that baby, I love you. She did it for me every single time. Yeah, she's still my biggest story, my biggest interview. I think it probably was 2 minutes, 2 minutes long, but I recorded it on one of those Android phones, and I'm holding it like this, and I'm going back and forth like this.
I love it.
On her porch, and I was just like grateful because she listened to me. She just let me record. She's not like, some of our older family members. They be like, "Don't put me on that internet." Yeah. Woo! How many times have I heard that? But she was like, "No, do what you need to do because I know you're going somewhere." So yeah, that's probably the biggest interview.
Oh, that's powerful because a lot of our elders' voices aren't preserved, and they have so much wisdom that isn't shared with our generation. Mm-hmm. That needs to be passed on to our generation.
Absolutely.
And like the fact that you, even for those 2 minutes, are priceless because there's so much information and so much wisdom we can grab from that, so we don't follow in those same footsteps to make the same mistakes, or we can follow in their footsteps and make bigger footsteps for the next generation too, and for our peers as well. So that's dope. Yeah, you just give me all the shouts out to King today. The polished ladies in the building.
First of all, I want to say this. Sound like you grew up with a lot of people who had a lot of wisdom, elderly people who had a lot of wisdom. Second of all, I want to say, man, that reminds me of when we did an interview with this guy named Joe Brown. Quote me if that was his name. That was his name. Joe Brown.
All right, Joe Brown.
Brother Joe.
He was an old guy. Before we interviewed him, he gave us so much knowledge and details. He almost had us late setting up, but it was all love. And when we interviewed him, it was dope. It was dope. So I do got a question. Where do you see the Polished brand in 5 years from now? How can I get on board so I can get some money?
Lord,
I'm for real.
I know you for real.
I get some money too.
Oh wow. That's you are. Ooh.
She wasn't expecting that.
He got to come along for real. Y'all, the Polished People Tribe, y'all coming. Literally, I've been saying this ever since I started. I want a network. I want my own TV network where 24 hours, I don't care who's the correspondent on the platform, that as long as you are spewing positivity about the African American culture on here, I don't care. I don't think that I'm going to use Oprah as an example. Oprah did bring anybody on her show. Oprah does have old network, but it's like TV show entertainment. I want it to be like, I want you to be entertained to know that we are positive and we push strides every day. Like, we push the barriers. Everything they told us we couldn't do, we take the bits and pieces and make art.
Yep, absolutely.
So to have this network that I plan to have, I want y'all to shine your light, being you, advocating for others, telling their stories as well. I'm working on something. I still want to do like the Polished Lady tour a little bit more. So, but it's like I'm gonna have to leave home a little bit. I gotta leave home and move around because I know it's more African Americans that are positive than Indiana. But of course, I'm always gonna start at home where the heart is, for real.
You done did everybody here.
No, not everybody, but quite a few. Yeah. So doing the Polished Lady tour, for those of you guys who didn't know about the Polished Lady tour, it basically was a five-day tour. I went to 2 Black-owned businesses each day. I interviewed the owners, and like was live, and while I was there, they were able to experience like some discount towards the business, but the proceeds for that day, when people use like the Polished Lady's name or the Polished Code or whatever, they went fully to the business, and I marketed that. And I utilized Black-owned makeup artists. I used Black-owned clothing designers. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't tell you about all the positive things that are going on in my community when I go outsourcing to other communities. But I'm telling you, we got so much dope stuff, but I didn't look here first. Mm-hmm. I didn't start with my people first. Yeah. So that's what's coming up. Like the Polished Lady tour, it's gonna be city to city.
I'm pulling up again. I'm pulling up.
You got to.
Let us know what
Remember, he said he pulling up. So y'all, this the record. This the record. Y'all pulling up.
So if he pull up, I got to pull up too. You can't.
All right, we got it on camera now.
That co-host, the cousins, got to be in the building for sure. For sure. Yeah, let us know. So let me ask you this: how can we add value to what you have going on outside of pulling up to what you got going on in the future? How can we add value to what you got going on right now?
Keep doing what you're doing. Keep telling the stories. I mean, like, I enjoy seeing people that I know doing what it is. This is something you love, because if it wasn't, you wouldn't have got the training. You wouldn't have got into a space where they're promoting you, they're marketing you, and pushing you to go forward in your dreams, right? Mm-hmm. So that you can do that for others. That's like half the battle right there, because it's hard. I know you guys know it's hard when you have the vision and everybody else don't see it. Yeah. Right. So, and while they're not seeing it, you still gotta push forward. Yep. No matter who sees it.
Yep.
Especially
that leaving life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Look, that's the real part. It's like, even when you don't have kids, even knowing that one day you don't have kids, knowing, because when you have this drive, let me say that, when you have this drive to make sure that the next lineage underneath you is gonna be straight, it's a different type of battle you gotta face. Because all 3 of us face that same battle. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Even though Cuz don't got kids, he's still working on making sure his kids don't face that same battle he faced. And doing that, it takes a lot of courage. I tell people, being an entrepreneur has been kicking my ass. And what I have learned, I'm going to tell the universe this. It better get ready and put its gloves on, because I'm ready to kick some ass back. You know what I mean? And I'll say that from the bottom of my heart, because this entrepreneur journey, I feel like it's only for me. I done tried everything else working. It's really wrong. Never had a job. That was my wife's idea. I was in the streets. I was trying to make money. I never thought about having a job. Wasn't good.
And so, see, I didn't had jobs. I've had jobs making good money. Making good money. I promise you, y'all. But was it fulfilling my purpose? Was it pushing me towards legacy? Because again, After Radio One, we were furloughed from the radio station. I probably would have never left that job. I was getting paid like 10 an hour, 10. Then like before the pandemic, they increased it to 12. Yeah. And I was the only one on the promotions department who had a baby. I just recently had a baby. I'm breastfeeding. They want me out at the club until 10 to 1 a.m. My schedule wasn't consistent. Yeah. So I would have kept working at that job because I thought that was my way in. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's what I thought. Then from there, I worked at the election board. I did that just for a little stint. And then after those jobs, I worked for Black women. I worked for Angel 28 Boutique. I worked for Andrea Brown, B. Bella Company. And then I worked for Ladina Brown, Midwest League Magazine, and doing the free phones. Those jobs, they gave me a lot of responsibility. They made me get my shit together. The only thing, like for me, I don't know about y'all. Y'all can answer this. Mm-hmm. A job made me appreciate my vision. Like it's pushing you. It's pushing. It's pushing. It's pushing you.
Yeah, I damn near Kyle just said that the other night too. I said it without saying it. Man, but that's how I was feeling though.
The job make you. Yeah. That's what I was saying. Cause that's why I'm saying switching roles. I ain't really breaking it down because this show is all about you. You know, but switching roles and working now, because my wife's pregnant and I ain't down for that. You know, so anyway, but working has made me appreciate like, damn, an entrepreneur is great. This is money I'm bringing in. When I was doing the original, people make it. This ain't nothing. You know, it's like, dang, this is. I love being an entrepreneur. I love not making the money for a whole week, then next week making a little bit. I love everything about it.
Mm-hmm. So, process, the journey.
Yeah, I love the process. I love the journey. And I told Cuz that when I got this job, I said, this is not the same. Like I don't have the same passion when I'm working with. I realized that. Been working for myself for how long? I've been working for myself, Cuz? What? 3-4 years? No, 2003. Yeah, so 3 years constantly. And 2019, not really having working for nobody is just totally different. So I feel I agree with you.
Yeah, and
me too.
Ooh, my good friend Denisha Redding of Vivacious Credit LLC. She just recently had a live, and she was talking about how entrepreneurs get lazy and comfortable, in where they're at. But she said she recommended getting a job for a 6-month stint to show you, like, because when you first get into the entrepreneur game, you was like, I'm gonna win, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do this, and you up grinding, and nothing can stop you. But once you in there, you lose momentum. You lose momentum. You lose appreciation, because when I have to like clock in anywhere, when I gotta clock in, I'm still in my brain. I might be doing the work that you're asking me to do, but in my brain, I'm like, well, the polished lady needs to send out emails today. And when I get off of work, after I pick up my son, then I cook, make sure he does his homework. And me and Wally got this thing. We got to watch a movie a day. You know what I'm saying? I'm a movie head. He's a movie head. That's our quality time. That's how we bond. With the popcorn. Don't forget the popcorn, because he'll freak out.
I love that.
Then, but once I bath, teeth, bed, it's grind time. Yeah. It's grind time. Wally asks me all the time, Mommy, you don't never sleep in your bed. That's because I'm downstairs on my desk, typing, editing videos, posting on YouTube, make sure this content's ready for the next go round. Maybe I got to submit a business proposal. Whatever I got to say in this business proposal has to align with the other party believing in our partnership for them to support my business, my brand. That stuff keep me up at night. Keep me up at night. And listen, I'm just 5 months in. I've been doing the Polished Lady for 5 years, and I'm just learning about like sustainability and learning exactly what you said. I might get a booking for this. It might not be my highest booking, but now how you gonna use that money to grow more money? Basically.
I got my car repoed.
What?
Yeah, I don't give a damn. I told them already. They know. When I got my car repoed.
It was like a few months ago.
Bounced back like a motherfucking god. You know, but yeah, so that's
how it go.
And you know, like you said earlier, that's why I've been resonating. That's why I've been feeling you in the bond, and that's why I told her in 2021 that I mess with her heavy. And like you said, it can mess up your confidence. That is one of the most important things. But you said a lot of great things. I want people to make sure they hear that, especially on this journey. Don't let this journey confidence.
Ever.
You need that. You need that. That's what it sounds like people going. You went from going asking people, hey, can you sign this people? Nobody want to sign it. Nobody. You had to keep that confidence, that strongness in you. Like, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going. And now you walk around with this. A lot of people don't sign it because they know who you are. Right. No, for real.
I'm gonna send a Google Doc now. I'm gonna send a form. I'm gonna be a little bit smarter.
Okay, but still, you're gonna get a
different response for sure.
Because you kept that confidence up the whole time. And that it takes that, because I've been going through hell and back, but like I said again, something else I resonate with you. You gotta be thankful that you're on this journey. Having a job has made me thankful. I said, you know what? These people want me to do this, they want me to do that. Half the time I'm thinking like, damn, I still gotta do this with Lead Your Lineage. Oh damn, I gotta make sure I do this with the rest of the people. You talking my brain, I got this my daughter then. I gotta make sure my daughter's still learning. Man, I'm not even thinking, so sometimes I'll make a mistake. I'm gonna keep it 100.
We all do.
Absolutely.
I'm just over here just agreeing with everything you're saying. Just resonating with me. And like I said, we're gonna keep giving you applaud, and I want them to know one thing. this mic, I want y'all to know she is great at branding. This is when you see this mic, even if you didn't know, if I start, you know what? I got something. We gonna boom, bring this mic up. I got an idea. But if you see this mic, if I just saw this mic,
man, the genius.
I would know. I would have knew it was yours. I'm a silent genius. I'm a guy who just do it. I can't break it down to you. I can show you.
I'm gonna break that shit down, show you, and tell you.
Come on, partnership.
Hey,
come on, cousins. Yeah, bigger.
Co-hosting cousins. So we do. We complement each other extremely well.
Yeah, we do. You know, I'm the genius of the operation.
Not you went back to Pinky and Brain. Lord.
Here you go.
Oh, that got me out.
Y'all know that. Y'all know that's a lie. So let's give it out. They know that's a lie. They know it's a lie.
Really
People
appreciate you coming on here. And,
absolutely.
It's been divine. We got to hear about your family. Got to hear about how you carrying the Polished brand and how you I know one thing. I read your emails. They good. You know.
You read my newsletters.
Yeah. Sometimes I miss some. Sometimes I don't. You know.
I gotta get Lead Your Lineage on
there. Like, okay. Sometimes really be positive. And, like I always say, when you see somebody doing something great, especially if you don't, you always bite off of them. I told Cuz about her newsletter. You know, I said, man, we need one like the Polished Lady. I said, tell them about her mic. I said, Cuz, we need a mic like the Polished Lady. Yep. So when you do greatness, don't hate. When you see greatness, don't hate. Duplicate. You feel me? Don't hate.
Seriously.
Duplicate.
If that's gonna help you grow, then do it.
Duplicate. Don't hate.
And if you put somebody, that's my way of putting on, like me just authentically being myself. But if you see an opportunity for it to put on for you, use it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Don't keep like they say, what's the wheel? The wheel was already invented.
They'll reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
There's nothing new under the sun. Like, we just got to put our own unique personality within everything that's already here.
Definitely.
Like I don't know what I was listening to, but like these phones we have that we hold in our hands on a daily basis, all of those minerals were here thousands of years ago, millions of years ago. But somebody just took that thought and was like, oh, what can I make out of this? And now we have cell phones. You know what I mean? So everything we already need is here. So we don't need to invent the wheel because it's already here. You just got to put your own unique personality with everything that's already here.
What am I eating for dinner?
Ooh.
Oh, I just ate.
Do you cook? Are you a type of cook?
What you be cooking?
Do I cook? I mean, on Monday I cooked
What you cooking?
turkey chops, and I had cabbage and macaroni and cheese.
Okay.
And some honey cornbread that doesn't have pork in it because I don't eat pork. Yeah. Ain't nobody else. I mean, ain't nobody.
Okay.
It ain't even close to Thanksgiving yet, but hey.
The little thin sliced turkey breast?
Yeah.
No.
You be cooking some vegan food?
I haven't made vegan food, and
okay. When you do, we pulling up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I might need Chef Kobe.
We can eat with you. We can all have a feast together. We
Absolutely.
don't have to eat the same food, but we can eat together at the same dining table.
Yep, I got one. I got one. Y'all can come on through.
We
pulling up.
Go pull up. We gonna invite you to one of the tribes.
Absolutely, most definitely.
Especially somebody of your type of caliber. You know.
Most definitely. Yeah, we on that. Oh, let's do it. Let's do it next month.
All right.
Let's do it.
Praise the Lord.
Let's do that. Yeah. So, before we get out of here, do you have any words you want to close us out with?
Yes. You guys, I appreciate you for taking your time out to make it through my interview with Lead Your Lineage podcast. And I also want to say, like, keep going. Keep going to the point where you can tell your younger self, this is what you dreamed about, and this is what you're doing. A lot of times, there's so much to worry about the future. We already know what happened in the past, but we never focus on the present. We're not presently in the present because we're so focused on, this is my future, this is my future. Nothing's wrong with being proactive, but celebrate your wins. Talk about the good. In that moment, talk about the good. When you can give somebody their flowers while they're still alive, give them. Don't hold your breath. So many times, like this whole week, everybody's been just pouring into me, and a lot of times it took a long time for me to accept it, because I'm always pouring into others, and I always felt like my cup is getting empty, but I never would be like, hey y'all, I need that too. But I guess it's a seasonal thing. Like in the season that you need it the most, it would appear to you or be there for you. So I'm gonna just say keep going, and I appreciate you.
Wisdom. That's
wisdom. Hold on. Let them know where they can follow you, where they can get more information. Let them know everything.
Okay, definitely check me out on all social media platforms at ThePolishedLady. That's ThePolishedLady, as a lady should be spelled. And you can also connect with me on my website, ThePolishedLady.biz. That's biz, okay? Because I be handling my business. You see what I'm saying? I can't wait to connect with you guys. If you have any questions, there's definitely like a chat. It'll send me an email. I would like to say it sounds like I'm a team of one, but it's so many people in the Polished People tribe that motivate me every day to go out and get it or provide some type of resource so that I'm able to do what I wanted to do. So I will connect with you when I can. So don't think your email is forgotten about. I might be doing an interview. Last week, y'all, I interviewed Miss Universe, the first Black Miss Universe. I forgot. I ain't passed.
We gotta bring her back.
We got a star. Today we got a star. Y'all didn't know that.
We're gonna bring her back for a part 2. You come back for a part 2?
Yeah.
Okay, I bet. We're gonna do that.
Sorry. Yeah. I ain't dropped the interview yet, but I was like, dang, I did that before I left to go to Atlanta. Yeah.
That's what's up.
Superstar, man. I gotta hold that mic again.
Absolutely. Hey, hold that thing go. That's the thumbnail. Hey.
You feel me?
That's that thumbnail right there. Hey, let's get it.
Forget the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, family, we appreciate y'all for tuning in to another episode of the Lead Your Lineage podcast. And as we always love to say, lead yourself so you can lead your lineage. Until next time, y'all. Peace.
Stay melanated, baby. Shout out to my wife, man.
Period.
And Kelah.
I love you.
Institute.